Ladies and gentlemen, let me begin with a truth that will shake the very foundation of your thinking. Your life right now is the sum total of your habits, not your dreams, not your wishes, not your prayers. Your habits. Some of you are praying for a breakthrough, but your habits are holding you hostage. You're fasting for change, but you're feeding destructive patterns. Let me ask you a question. If you keep doing exactly what you're doing every single day, where will you be 5 years from now? That's why this message is not just a sermon, it's a wake-up call. If you don't understand what I'm about to share, you will keep repeating the same year over and over and call it progress. So I challenge you, don't just watch this message, study it, meditate on it, and most of all, apply it. Because what I'm about to share with you are 10 habits that will not just improve your life, they will transform it forever. Habit number 1, daily time with your Creator. Before you consult your calendar, consult your Creator. Begin each day in alignment, with purpose, not pressure. Mornings are wombs of destiny. Habit number 2, read to lead. Leaders are readers. If you want to rise, you must feed your mind with more than entertainment. What you read today shapes your reasoning tomorrow. Habit number 3, master your mornings. Don't start your day reacting, start by creating. Establish a morning routine that sets the tone. What you do in the first hour determines how you'll live the next 23. Habit number 4, journal your journey, write your thoughts, track your growth, document your prayers, your plans, your patterns. A journal is a mirror. It shows you what God is doing and what you are ignoring. Habit number 5, guard your circle, your Relationships are prophetic. Wrong people can delay right seasons. Choose people who challenge you, not just comfort you. Proximity determines potential. Habit number 6, speak life. Daily life and death are in the power of the tongue. Your words build your world. Speak what you want to see, not what you fear. Your mouth is a steering wheel. Habit number 7, prioritize health. You can't fulfill your purpose in a body you neglect. Your health is a ministry. Discipline your appetite. Move your body. Energy fuels execution. Habit number 8, reflect weekly. Success without reflection becomes a cycle of motion without meaning. Take time to review your week. Wins, losses, lessons. Reflection turns experience into wisdom. Habit number 9, delay. Pleasure, pursue purpose. Self-control is the mark of maturity. Say no now so you can say yes to destiny later. Short-term pain, long-term gain. Habit 10, serve with intentionality. Find a place to serve. Invest in others. Be a solution, not a spectator. Purpose is always connected to service. Your value increases as your contribution expands. My friend, these are not just habits. They are weapons against mediocrity. They are keys to the kingdom of greatness. If you build your life on these, you will not just succeed, you will fulfill destiny. Remember, you don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. And what you are is a result of what you repeatedly do. So the question is not, what do you want in life? The real question is, what habits are you willing to adopt to become the kind of person who deserves it? Let today be the last day you live on autopilot, because when you change your habits, you don't just change your life, you change your legacy. Your habits are more prophetic than your prayers. You can cry in worship, speak in tongues, and shout in services. But if your daily disciplines do not align with your destiny, your life will remain bound by the limitations of your own choices. Destiny is not a mystery, it is a decision. Your habits are quietly painting the portrait of your future every single day. The way you live your ordinary days is how your future will arrive. Some people are waiting for a prophetic word, but I came to tell you, your habits are your prophecy. You don't need someone to lay hands on you to know where your life is headed. Just look at what you do consistently. If you sleep late, avoid discipline, neglect your mind, and feed your flesh, you don't need a prophet to tell you what's coming next. Your outcomes are already written in the patterns of your behavior. You can't Sow laziness and reap excellence. You can't entertain mediocrity and expect mastery. You can't waste hours and demand harvests. God is not mocked. Whatever a man sows, that will he also reap. Habits are seeds, and time is the soil. What you repeat with your body becomes the prophecy of your future. That's why hell doesn't need to destroy your gift, it just needs to influence your habits. If your habits are corrupted, your potential is delayed. Satan isn't after your anointing, he's after your routine. He knows that your future is trapped in what you do repeatedly. So if he can pollute your patterns, he can sabotage your seasons. Greatness doesn't show up overnight. It shows up daily, quietly, in the private corners of your routine. The difference between ordinary and extraordinary is found in the things that are done consistently without applause, without cameras, without recognition. It's what you do when nobody's watching that determines what God will do when everyone is watching. You want to be used by God? Don't just ask for platforms. Build patterns. Don't chase the stage. Master your schedule. Purpose is not unlocked in a single decision. It is discovered in a lifestyle of wise discipline. You don't get the life you dream of. You get the life you design with your habits. Many people are working harder on their goals than on themselves. But your goals don't determine your success, your systems do. God gave you a vision, yes, but he also gave you time, responsibility, and decision-making power. You must manage the mundane with as much excellence as you steward the miraculous. Because the prophetic promise over your life is not only waiting for your belief, it is waiting for your behavior to agree with it. A habit is more than an action. It is a declaration about what you value, what you expect, and what you believe you are becoming. Every habit is a prophecy dressed in repetition. If you want to change your future, you don't have to chase it. You just have to change today. Discipline is not a punishment. It is the price for greatness. Every man or woman who has ever left a mark on history, who has ever shaken nations, who has ever stepped into divine purpose, had to pass through the narrow gate of discipline. Greatness does not begin on the outside. It is conceived in the womb of self-control. Without discipline, purpose remains potential. Without discipline, dreams remain fantasies. And without discipline, destiny is delayed until the day you decide to take yourself seriously. You can't pray your way around what you must discipline your way through. You can't anoint what you refuse to align. Discipline is not the enemy of grace. It is the evidence that you have received it. Because when you truly know who you are and what you were born to do, you no longer have the luxury to live casually. The reason many never see fulfillment is because they treat purpose like a hobby and treat pleasure like a priority. But true purpose demands structure. It requires sacrifice. It calls you to crucify distractions so you can carry divine instructions. The undisciplined man will always be a slave to his impulses, but the disciplined man is a ruler of himself, and God can trust him with nations. You don't need more motivation, you need more structure. You don't need a new year, you need a new system. Because success is not seasonal, it is structural. You become what you consistently control. Your destiny cannot be microwaved. It must be built day by day, decision by decision, and it is discipline that becomes the scaffolding of everything eternal in your life. Discipline doesn't feel good, but it does good. It doesn't give you immediate pleasure, but it gives you permanent results. You don't fast because it feels nice. You fast because your spirit needs to dominate your flesh. You don't wake up early because your body agrees. You do it because your future demands it. Discipline silences the voice of your feelings and strengthens the voice of your future. And in a world that is mastered by comfort, the disciplined man will always stand out because he does not follow the crowd. He follows conviction. The womb of discipline is where purpose is protected. You don't give birth to vision without guarding it. Just like a mother cannot carry a child and engage in reckless behavior, you cannot carry the weight of greatness and still entertain the appetites of your former self. Some things are not sinful, they're just not strategic. Discipline is the ability to say no to what is good so you can say yes to what is God. It is the art of delayed gratification in a world that preaches indulgence. And until you value discipline, You will keep aborting destiny because you lack the structure to sustain what you were born to steward. Time is not money. That's too cheap of a comparison. Time is far more valuable. Time is life. When you waste time, you're not just being unproductive, you are literally trading away pieces of your existence. Every minute you spend is a minute you will never recover. You can make more money, you can rebuild your reputation, you can repair relationships, but you can never retrieve time. Once it's gone forever. That's why the most dangerous thing in your life is not sin, it's distraction. The enemy doesn't always come to destroy, you will often find him disguised in busyness. And before you know it, you're living full days with empty purpose, getting things done but not going anywhere meaningful. But listen, activity is not the same as progress, and motion is not the same as movement toward destiny. Every single day, time is asking you a question. What are you doing with me? Because time is the currency of purpose. God gave you time to fulfill an assignment. You weren't just born to exist, to wake up, scroll, eat, work, and repeat. You were born to manage life like an investor, and what you do daily is shaping you silently. You are not what you say you are what you do repeatedly. Your habits form your character. Your routine is the factory where your future is being produced. You don't just wake up successful. You don't stumble into purpose, you grow into it moment by moment, hour by hour, day by day. If you misuse time, you mismanage life. Because time is how God measures your stewardship. He's not watching how loud you worship. He's watching how well you use what He gave you. And He gave every person the same 24 hours, but not every person uses them the same. The difference between the influential and the invisible is not more time, it's better use of it. Destiny is not found in someday, it is hidden in daily. And if your daily is dysfunctional, your destiny will be delayed. It is your daily choices, your daily thoughts, your daily priorities that determine who you are becoming. People say, I want to change my life. But they forget, your life is your day, multiplied by consistency. That's why you must take control of your time with ruthless clarity. Schedule your purpose. Protect your mornings. Prioritize what builds you and eliminate what drains you. Because if you don't manage your time, someone else will. The world will always have a plan for your time if you don't. Culture wants to keep you entertained so you never become enlightened. But you weren't born for distraction. You were born for dominion. And until you take time seriously, you will treat your life like a game instead of a gift. You cannot ask God for more life and keep wasting the time He's already given you. Your environment is more powerful than your intention. You can have strong goals, pure motives, and sincere prayers, but if you stay planted in toxic soil, you will never grow to your potential. You were never designed to rise above your environment. You were designed to be shaped by it. That's why God, before He gave Adam an assignment, gave him an atmosphere. Before Jesus started ministry, He stepped into the wilderness to separate Himself. Because atmosphere is not optional, it's essential. You can't grow into the fullness of your purpose while staying connected to people, places, and patterns that contradict your destiny. Some of you are not stuck because of a lack of anointing. You're stuck because you're surrounded by cycles that keep repeating themselves through your relationships. Cycles don't just happen, they're reinforced. What you tolerate in your environment will eventually take root in your behavior. If you constantly surround yourself with people who think small, speak fear, live reckless, or lack purpose, that influence will begin to contaminate your calling. Exposure determines expansion. If all you ever see is average, you'll start believing that greatness is unrealistic. That's why the enemy is not always trying to attack your faith. Sometimes he's just keeping you in the wrong room. Because he knows if you ever get around the right voices, the right vision, the right values, your potential would explode. Don't underestimate the power of proximity. Who you listen to becomes who you start to sound like. Who you spend time with becomes who you start to think like. Your circle is a mirror of your mindset. If you walk with the wise, you become wise. If you sit with fools, their foolishness becomes your filter. And you don't have to cut people off with hatred. Just start growing and you'll notice the distance will happen naturally. Because the higher you go, the fewer people can breathe at that altitude. Destiny requires separation. God will often isolate you not to punish you, but to protect what He's planting in you, because some environments will kill what He's trying to cultivate. You can't keep praying for freedom while staying loyal to bondage. You can't ask God to take you to new levels while refusing to leave familiar cages. Sometimes deliverance is not spiritual, it's relational. You need to ask yourself, does this atmosphere support the future I'm believing for? Do these conversations challenge me or comfort my dysfunction? Do the people around me speak life or drain purpose from my soul? If you want to break cycles, don't just change your behavior, change your environment. Get in rooms where you're not the smartest one. Sit at tables where your vision is stretched, not shrunk. Because growth is not just about what's in you, it's about what's around you. God is calling you to environments that match the level of your assignment. And until you obey that call, you will keep fighting cycles that were never meant to be permanent. Your future is not waiting to be decided, it's waiting to be built. And the raw materials for your future are not found in the dreams you have, the prayers you pray, or the promises you write down on a vision board. They are found in your daily habits. That's the truth most people avoid because it removes the excuse. You don't decide your future with inspiration, you shape it with repetition. Your habits are building something right now, whether you're conscious of it or not. The question is, are they building the life you desire or the life you'll regret? Destiny is not an event, it's a result. It's not just where you arrive, it's who you've consistently become along the way. Everyone has a future, but not everyone will fulfill it. Not because they lacked purpose, but because they lacked the discipline to develop the patterns that carry them there. Your habits are either pulling you toward your calling or pushing you deeper into comfort. And comfort, unchecked, becomes the enemy of growth. You can't expect a divine outcome while practicing a lazy input. Heaven responds to order, not chaos. And your habits are the structure your destiny requires. You don't rise to the level of your desires. You fall to the level of your systems. That's why people with big dreams and no discipline often live in frustration. Because they can see where they want to go, but their daily behavior keeps taking them in the opposite direction. A habit is more powerful than a wish. A system is stronger than a sermon. You can shout in church on Sunday, but if you have no structure on Monday, your life will stay the same. God will give you vision, but He won't build your habits for you. That's your job. You're not waiting on Him. He's waiting on you to live like you believe what He said. The reason your habits matter so much is because they happen without conscious effort. They work in silence, shaping your character when you're not even paying attention. That's what makes them dangerous or powerful. Whatever you do consistently becomes your identity. So when you change your habits, you're not just changing your schedule, you're changing yourself. You are shifting the very person who will step into the future you say you want. Because the man who receives the promise is not the same man who first received the word. Habits are what mature you into the version of yourself that's worthy of the vision God gave you. Your future is not found in tomorrow, it's hidden in today. It's in what you do with your next hour, your next choice, your next routine. If you ignore the importance of habits, you will keep praying for transformation while living in cycles. But when you honor the power of daily decisions, you begin to cooperate with heaven and walk in alignment with destiny. The world celebrates performance, but heaven watches preparation. What you do when no one is watching is what qualifies you for the moments when everyone is. You don't rise to influence by accident. You rise because you've been consistent in secret. And the secret place is not just a prayer closet. It is the unseen routines, the private disciplines, the choices made in silence when no applause is present. God never promotes a public gift without first testing a private character. Influence is not granted because of charisma. It is sustained by integrity, forged in obscurity. Every platform you desire is waiting on the version of you that's willing to be faithful when there is no spotlight, no recognition, no affirmation. Because until you can be trusted in the dark, you won't be trusted in the light. The stage reveals who you are, but it does not make you who you are. The light only amplifies what has been cultivated in the shadows. That's why some people rise fast and fall faster. because talent took them where discipline couldn't keep them. But when God builds you, He starts in the back room. He teaches you to worship when no one is watching, to study when no one is grading, to lead when no one is following, to serve when there's no one to impress. And those who embrace the hidden seasons, those who steward the quiet years, become the ones who are qualified to carry weight in the public arena. Don't despise the dark. The seed does its greatest work underground. The womb of preparation is always hidden from public view. And just because nobody sees you doesn't mean God is not developing you. The danger is when you crave visibility without becoming valuable. When you want exposure before you've built endurance. Visibility without maturity is dangerous, because what you gain too soon can crush you. That's why you must train like you're already there. Speak like the world is listening. Write like nations are reading. Pray like heaven is recording. Practice privately what you're asking God to manifest publicly, because when the door opens, it will be too late to prepare. There's a price to carry greatness, and it's not paid in front of people. It's paid in the discipline of daily obedience. You want to be anointed? Show God He can trust you with 5 a.m. wake-ups, with turning off distractions, with serving when no one claps. The private altar is where the fire falls. The sacred place of obscurity is where oil is produced. Public success without private substance is a disaster in disguise. And heaven does not promote according to likes, shares, or followers. Heaven promotes according to faithfulness. Every great man or woman of God was trained in silence, forged in obscurity, and refined in routine. What you call hidden, God calls holy. What you call delay, God calls development. He's not punishing you by keeping you unseen. He's preparing you so that when you are seen, you don't fall under the weight of what you've been called to carry. In conclusion, the habits we cultivate today are the seeds of the destiny we will reap tomorrow. Every action, every decision, and every moment of consistency in private shapes the future we will live in public. It's not enough to desire greatness. We must build it, brick by brick, through daily discipline and intentional habits. You are not just living life, you are building it. And every day that you neglect your habits, you are neglecting the opportunity to fulfill the purpose that God has already placed within you. If you want a life of influence, of impact, and of lasting change, you must make a commitment today to align your habits with the future you desire. Don't wait for a better season. Don't wait for more resources. The future you're praying for is in the hands of the choices you make right now. You don't need to wait for destiny to find you. You create it through the way you live your daily life. Remember, what you do daily is what you're becoming permanently. Your habits are not just actions, they are declarations about who you are and who you believe you are becoming. So choose your habits wisely, for they are shaping your destiny, your legacy, and the impact you will leave on this world. And as you do, know that the path of greatness is paved not by what you dream about, but by what you do, consistently, in the silence, in the shadows, and in the unseen moments that define your future.